Hello and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today we're going to learn about an organization that has several programs that reaches out to our at-risk youth. My guest is Tasha Dawson from Lighthouse Outreach. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Now, I'm embarrassed to admit I hadn't heard of your organization until very recently, but you're fairly new. You guys have been around for about 4 years, is that right?
Actually, we've been around, the programs have been around for about 4 years. The actual organization's been around for about 12 years.
Oh, I should have heard of it. My bad.
Yeah, that's okay. You're fine, but we're glad we're here today.
Well, there's also a difference in marketing when you have specific programs connected to a grant or a source of funding, and it's not the same name as your umbrella organization. So I may have heard of you and not known that I heard of you.
Great. That's great.
So tell us what you guys do.
Okay, so Lighthouse Outreach, Inc. Is a nonprofit organization based right here in Hampton, serving all of Hampton roads. But our vision is to be a beacon of light to help strengthen and support families. So in families, it includes youth, parents, elderly, so everybody we're trying to cover with our programs. So throughout Hampton roads, we do offer opportunities for food and clothing. We offer opportunities for free youth programs. We also offer opportunities for addiction support groups. And now our newest grant that we're going to be offering is for violence and gang prevention for youth.
And we will say that latest grant did come from the City of Hampton. You're one of the partner organizations now that's working with our youth violence prevention program and outreach. You know, one of the things the city thought is, rather than starting up new programs, we should look at what's out there and see how we can help the people that are already doing some of the grassroots work.
Mm-hmm. And it's great because a lot of the organizations that are now in the community are well connected. So when I say well connected, they already have partnered with successful partnerships with businesses, with programs, with families. So it's also making the collaboration a little bit more in depth and a little bit more richer, I think.
Well, and we as a city have made an effort also to work with, we recognize that within the community, a lot of our faith-based institutions are very strong, and you're connected with one of the churches. It's important that we recognize nonprofits doing good work, and if they're faith-based, still having programs that aren't necessarily promoting a particular religion, but working to benefit the community.
Correct. So Lighthouse Outreach is actually the nonprofit for faith-based Christ Church Ministries on Hampton on Joins Road. But within Lighthouse Outreach, there are several different programs. So we do have some programs that are sponsored specifically by the church. Then we also have some programs that are federally funded, which are separate from the church, but still fall under the umbrella of Lighthouse Outreach.
Well, when you first called, it was Teen Pregnancy Prevention Month. Tell me what you guys did for that, because I was very interested in that program.
Great. So May was Teen Pregnancy Prevention Month, and with it being Teen Pregnancy Prevention Month, it was hosted just by our Yes Dare to Dream program. So Yes Dare to Dream is a free youth program for ages 13 to 16 years of age, and is to help to educate them to avoid risky behavior, particularly teen pregnancy, through abstinence. But while we are educating youth for abstinence, we also realize that there are other factors that cause youth to get pregnant. So it could be if they're skipping school, or if they're hanging out with the wrong crowds, or if they're engaging in other high-risk behavior. All those are factors that lead to teen pregnancy. So that's why we have a well-rounded program. We talk about all of the factors, not just teen pregnancy.
I think that makes so much sense when you go that level deeper, because it really is fairly ineffective, I think, and has been, since the 40s and 50s, to go and tell teens not to do something. Correct. They just aren't going to listen. But if you talk about, self-esteem and risky behaviors and other things that lead to problems, I really think self-esteem is a huge issue right now for our girls. Maybe it always has been. I didn't have very good self-esteem when I was a girl either, and I think we've got to shore that up and let people understand that they have choices and that they are worth a lot, and that they don't have to, sort of throw that away and give up.
And some of the other programs, as well as our
well,
own.
Wait, let's finish on that one. So you guys went into the schools, right?
Yes. So we did go into the schools. So at the schools, we were promoting the teen pregnancy awareness prevention Prevention. And with that support, with Ramonta Allen and Romo Allen Entertainment, we did go into the schools. We had tables where we did educate the youth. We encouraged them to go on social media to also publicize the awareness message. And then also we did go into several of the businesses and also promote the message as well. So we did a couple different things throughout the month to promote the message, but of course we're promoting the message all year round.
Okay. So what else do you do?
Yeah, so Lighthouse Outreach in itself is a very robust organization. So I say robust just because of the populations that we do serve. So we are serving all of the Hampton Roads community through various programs. So one of our biggest programs, and it's actually growing quite rapidly, is our food outreach program, and that is in partnership with the U.S. Department of Agriculture. So every fourth Saturday of the month, we do give out free foods to families that qualify. And from time to time, we will have other articles of clothing and other household needs that they may have too. And it is for free. So again, that is the fourth Saturday of every month on 39 Joins Road in Hampton, Virginia.
So how does that work, Tasha? Do people have to qualify? Do they fill out a form?
Yes, so you do fill out an initial form, and the initial form does give your basic information, your household information, how many people live in your household, also your income that you're also bringing in. Once that's on file and you continue to come, you don't have to fill out paperwork. You only need to fill it out once every quarter. So once we have your paperwork on file, you can come back every fourth Saturday of every month in order to get food items and clothing and household items. With that, it is confidential, so your information is kept private. Once you come into the facility, it is open to you and open to your children as well.
Now, do you mostly serve people within your neighborhood area, or is it a bigger audience?
It's mostly the people within our zip code, and that being because there are several different locations that other churches also have the same program in schools
it's nice
and things like that.
There's pockets.
Yeah.
I've seen that too in Phoebus and Buckrow, and then you guys would be serving sort of the greater Aberdeen area.
Correct, correct. Yeah, so the program is actually nationwide, so there are a lot of different locations. So we do serve mostly our own zip code. However, that does not keep you from coming if you don't live in our zip code.
Okay, and do you have some sort of a package that you give people? Does it vary?
Yeah, so from month to month it does vary. So for example, for Thanksgiving time, normally they're giving out cranberry sauce, green beans, the traditional kind of Thanksgiving meals. But for every month you are getting some staple items such as meats, grains, vegetables, fruits and juices. So you will get those items every month, and it may vary what it is.
So important that people eat nutritional foods and get those basic food groups and eat healthy.
Exactly.
For
And
kids and adults.
Exactly. So eating healthy has become the latest, and I think one of the best initiatives that the president has put out, and particularly Ms. Obama. And eating healthy does do a lot, especially for kids and adults alike. So it goes anywhere from self-esteem building to also just better health general.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the program that you're going to launch with the new city grant?
So we are excited to be partnering with the city of Hampton. So the new program is called Game Changers. And so what that is it is a youth and gang violence prevention initiative. So what we have decided to do is specifically target 3 neighborhoods in Hampton. And those neighborhoods are the Shell Road Corridor, Phoebus, and also the Briarfield area. So within those areas, we did see a need to prevent youth violence and also gang activity. So that's why we specifically chose those neighborhoods.
Right.
So within those neighborhoods, what we have proposed to do is that we will come in and we have partnered with a group called the Gamer Bus from Chesapeake. So we will be bringing the bus to the neighborhood. So it will actually almost be like a mobile classroom. So where we will recruit the kids to come 2 weeks prior to the start date of the program. The kids will get on the bus. They will enter into the classroom, and then also they'll have opportunities to play games.
So what will that be like? So how do you recruit kids? Now, kids don't always necessarily want to change. They don't want to learn. They don't want to be told things. How do you have a pitch that brings them in that's fun, or how do you do it?
So actually, our biggest, I think, recruiters are kids themselves.
See?
So with us being already established as an organization, we do reach out to our partners that are already in those communities, so the churches, the schools, and things like that, and recruit at those places.
And you're not far from two of those neighborhoods, the Briarfield neighborhood,
Correct.
and I mean, Shell Road would be probably across the tracks, but not geographically terribly far away. So you have some roots there already.
Exactly. So with those roots, it will allow us in order to bring in more kids. So with us reaching out to our existing partners and having them to refer kids to us, and then also social media through the kids that have already went through our other programs, that's a large base right there, and they can get the word out. So you'd be amazed just how vast kids are. We have some kids that have 8,000, 9,000 followers on their Instagram accounts, 8,000, 10,000 friends on their Facebook pages. So those people alone, those youth alone, will help us to recruit.
Well, and in the city of Hampton, too, I mean, mostly there's neighborhood schools at the elementary level, but by the time you get to middle school, by the time you get to high school, kids are specializing a little bit. And, you know, kids may go to a high school that isn't in their neighborhood, they know people, or they've gone to middle school or even elementary with other kids that they keep up with. So they have a big reach across the city.
They sure do. And one of the biggest things I think that helps to propel some of our programs is the youth voice. So they have a big reach and they also have a big voice. So, you know, if kids say that they are supporting a particular organization or a particular night, they can make or break really your events or even your programs. So it is very important, especially for your youth serving organization, to have that youth voice.
How do you get that?
Well, we get that through when they enter into our programs and they like our programs. Usually the first day, kids are funny in that regard. They can tell you right off the bat, we like it, we don't like it. But when we hear that, we also integrate that into our programs. So when I say we integrate that into our programs, it's important for youth to feel like that they have a sense of being and that they are a part of the program. So if they know that their voice is being heard and they know that we are making changes to accommodate their voice, then they're more likely to be more involved and also to bring in other youth.
So that is, you know, I guess what we hear, and I have kids in the age range, but not a lot, but is that kids want to belong, but they also want to shape an organization. And that's a little bit the attraction of, whether you want to call them gangs or youth groups or whatever, is that it's my group. I fit in, it works with me, I work with it. And you're able to do that, I guess, in a very positive way to get that sense of belonging.
Yeah, and you know, that sense of belonging sometimes comes for youth in different ways. So it may come from youth to youth interaction. It may come from youth to facilitator interaction. So it can come in a variety of forms, but we do try to make sure that they do get that sense. So whether their voice is heard verbally, so sometimes they will go on the media outlets for us, or whether it's heard through social media, sometimes they'll blog for us, or if it's heard through even by paintings or drawings that's up in the office, or t-shirt design. So we've had youth to do a lot of different things, spoken word at our community events. But as long as they feel like some way, somehow, their voice is being expressed, it is very important to them.
That's an interesting thing that you bring up about how kids choose different kinds of self-expression. How do you work with that in your group?
Well, I think through our partners. So then this is where your partnerships come in throughout the community. So there are different organizations that specialize in certain areas. So if you know those organizations and you have youth that are in your program and you know that they're interested in things that you may not necessarily always provide, then that's when that collaboration comes in. That's when you can refer you, well, come to our program, but I also think you should be in a program with this organization. They specialize in art. They specialize in spoken word or poetry. They specialize in certain things. So that's where I think that collaboration and partnership comes in. And also I think where the city of Hampton was really looking for, because we are one community. We're not just separate organizations. We're not all living on islands. We're all working together.
Yes, and I think that is so important that we reach kids kind of where they are and foster whatever interests they already have. And it might be sports. I mean, for a lot of kids, sports is huge, but for a lot of kids, arts is huge. And I think sometimes we forget about all those other kinds of hobbies or pastimes or passions, whatever you want to call them, that can hook kids onto the right path.
And once you're hooking them onto the right path, if you can provide the resources where they can be mentored in that particular area, kids love it, and that's how they grow. You know, so when you're talking about them having a voice, then their voice becomes louder because they feel more empowered. So now I have more resources. Now I know more people who are doing what I want to do, so it really helps them.
Gets them fired up, gets
Yeah.
them involved in thinking about a future. I think a lot
Exactly.
of our kids don't think they have a future, don't have that kind of hope because that passion isn't nurtured or developed. And,
Exactly.
and some people just don't have the resources to do that.
Exactly.
Okay, Tasha, before we wrap up, is there anything else you want to add? I know we've talked a lot, but I'm not sure we've hit all of your key points.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. You know, so this is just one avenue just to get the word out about our organization, Lighthouse Outreach, Inc. It's a great organization located right here in Hampton Roads, and, you know, it's our vision just to service the whole community, regardless of your age, regardless of your race. We're here just to service the community in however capacity that we are able to do it. So we're just excited to be here, excited about the new programs that we have coming out, our existing programs, and just excited just in general.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you for the work you're doing with our kids and also with that broader community.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for watching. I hope you've learned about a nonprofit I didn't know was out there. Maybe you didn't know it was out there. And maybe you know someone who needs their services, whether it's the food pantry, whether it's teenagers in those corridors, whether it's anything else that they offer. You can get in touch with them. Thanks for watching.